Yeah, good day, YouTubers. I want to show you how I'm going to make a quick draft with some extra malt. This is the dextrose, which I'm going to, it's a kilo pack of dextrose, which is just pure glucose. Already sterilized my fermenter, and I'm just pouring 1 kilo of dextrose into my fermenter. That's a whole kilo in the fermenter. Then I've got some malt extract. It's a 1 kilo of malt extract. I'll show you how it looks like. If you can see that. It's just pure malt extract. So I'm going to pour that into the fermenter as well. It's a 1 kilo malt extract, just pure malt. I'll pour that into the fermenter. It's like syrup. It's really sweet. I'll pre-boil with a little bit boiling water. I prefer to use tank water. I don't use water that's got any chlorine or acid in it. Just give it a quick rinse. Some boiling water. It's like I say, it's syrup, it's quite sticky. That's good enough. This is the Tooheys Special Draft Brew Mix. I'll bring it up closer so you can see what it is. So this is the Tooheys Special Draft Mix. It's a 1.7 kilo. And that's the malt and hops that's already been extracted into a concentrate. This makes 23 liters. It's 1.7 kilos at 23 liters. So it's a Tooheys Special Draft. I've had it standing in boiling water for about 10 minutes to soften up the liquid, as it's basically almost the same as the malt extract. It's very syrupy. It's very sticky. It's just like syrup. But that's already the malt and the hops concentrate. I prefer to making a little bit of extra malt in my beer to give it a go, see how it tastes like. And I'll just rinse it out with some boiling water. Careful you don't burn yourself with the boiling water. Gets a bit hot. And that will do. Give it another rinse. There's still a little bit left. So it's just, this is 1.7 kilogram, which is about equal to about 1.7 liters, plus a kilo of the malt extract. That will make it about 2.5 liters, I would say, and about 1.5 liters of boiling water. and the dextrose. And all you need to do is give it a good stir. Make sure everything dissolves. Give it a very good stir. And this will probably only take won't take longer than 10 minutes. Like I said, I've already sterilised my fermenter. You can use normal bleach, probably about a teaspoon to a litre of water. Just give it a really good rinse with clean tap water afterwards. Let it stand for about 10 to 15 minutes. This is already fairly mixed pretty good. Make sure your tap is closed because you don't want to make a big mess on the floor. Now I bought some just the normal natural spring water. The home brand, doesn't have to be any brand. Probably costs about $5 for 10 litres. I'm just going to open that up. I'll just pour the first 10 litres in. You can use less dextrose. The less dextrose you use, the less alcohol volume you will get. The more sugar you add, the higher the alcohol content. Also, when you're using malt, because it's fairly sweet syrup, you don't have to use dextrose. I prefer my strong beers. And we'll do a test afterwards after I've done all this. Got my hydrometer, which I already sterilised as well. So I'll just give it another good stir. Want all the sugars dissolve properly and mix properly. All the malt and the brew mix with the hops. It really smells good. You can actually smell the malt in it. Now it's about 34 degrees according to the thermometer which I've got on the fermenter. Give it a really good stir. We'll add a next 10 litres of spring water. Equals to about 20 litres of spring water. Just got to get it open. I'll fill it up to about a 23 litre mark. With the boiling water, 1 kilo of boiling water, and the brew mix which I preheated before on boiling water for about 10 minutes. And the temperature should be just about right to pitch the yeast. You don't want it too hot and you don't want it too cold, but rather have it a little bit cooler than too hot. If you have it too hot, the heat of the water will actually kill the yeast. So it won't work that good. So I'll save one. I'll save a drop just for the air locker, just to put some water in the air locker. Yeah, now it's on exactly on the 23 litre mark. Right there. Give it another good stir again. You want to make sure everything is mixed properly. Give it a good stir. The more air you get into it, the better the yeast works. Just give it a good stir, make sure everything is mixed 100% properly. It'll taste nice, malty taste. It's not a too dark beer, slightly darker as a lager, not much darker than lager beer. That's my preferred beer, is actually draft or lager. Just give it a good mix. Quite a bit of foam on top. Seems like it's mixed pretty good. I'm just going to show you, this is just a glass jar, and this is my hydrometer. The hydrometer, it's got markings for beer. It shows the start and finish. That's where the beer should be, and that's where it should be when it's finished. After fermentation, that's the start. I'll bring it a little bit closer if you can see that. So that's the start, and that's where it should be when it's finished. Normally it's about between 1.036 on the start, and when it's finished it's about 1.006. So I'm just going to take a sample. I already had this hydrometer sterilized in some bleach water and gave it a good rinse. So I'm just going to take a sample. Take a sample before you actually pitch the yeast. So that will give you more or less alcohol. It shows more or less the alcohol content you can have after you finished it. So I just want to try and get rid of all the foam. It's a little bit foam on top. So this will show how much alcohol by volume it will have after it's been finished. It's about one. This is going to be a really strong beer. 5, 6. It will probably be about 6% beer when it's all fermented out, and probably about another 5%. Not a 5%, but 0.5% when adding your sugar to give it a gas when you bottle your beer. So currently it's about at 1.044. 1.044, which is really strong. It's about, like I said, it'll be about 6% after fermentation and after bottling. So we'll put this one side. Now I'll just have a look at the temperature. Our temperature is about 28, 30. It's just touching on 30. So 28 degrees is excellent temperature. And I'll give it another quick stir. that should be good enough. Well stirred. As you can see, I'm a big Tooheys fan. It's just my type of beer. Love the taste of it. Even my home brew is all Tooheys, and if I have to buy a brew, it's only Tooheys beer. I love my extra dry beers. So this is now the premium brewing yeast. It's a 5 gram packet. That comes on top. It's just underneath the lid of the actual brewing concentrate. It's under the lid of the 1.7 kilo tin of brewing concentrate. So I'll just get rid of the foam, just sprinkle the yeast on top. Doesn't matter how you sprinkle it in. Make sure you get everything in. Just give it a little bit of a stir. Don't have to stir too hard. Basically it's just to dampen it, just to wet it. Eventually it will sink down to the bottom and it will start eating up all the sugar. And once it starts working, all the sugar and so on, that gets turned into alcohol. The yeast eats the sugar and it poops out and makes alcohol. So that's premium brewing yeast, 5 grams that I just added. And that's about it. All done. Give it a quick wash when you finish with it. Rinse it off with bleach water. Now this lid's, it's got a seal on it. It's just a rubber seal. There's got a hydrometer in it, just to close the hole. Grommet, I mean, sorry. It's a grommet. This is what I call an air locker. That will go into the hole. Just wet it slightly. Just squeeze nicely through the hole. You don't want to wiggle it too much, otherwise you might cut the grommet and it can leak and cause a lot of dryness. It won't seal off anymore. So I'll take that, put it on top of the fermenter. Make sure you screw the lid on properly. Should just screw on nice and easy. Make it as tight as you can. That should do it. And then we'll use the little bit of water that I've got left. Got to fill it just about halfway on, or just under half on the, and that will do. So when you press on the lid, it should go up, and if you hold it there, it shouldn't come back. If it does come back, that means you haven't got an airtight seal. After about 6 hours, this should start bubbling away, and that just shows that the yeast is starting to work and it's fermenting. If it doesn't bubble after about 6 hours, it might be that the yeast might be off, or you might have pitched the yeast when it was too hot, or maybe the yeast had expired or got some air into it. So you might just have to, all you can do then is just get another sachet of yeast from your brewer's shop and just pitch another sachet of yeast. It won't do anything. So, and that's pretty good. And that's about it. That's alright. We'll leave it for about, I would say we'll take about 5 to 7 days, and then it'll be finished fermented. Once this airlock has stopped bubbling, it will basically stand still, and it will maybe give one little bubble every 5 minutes or so, Here it basically shows you that it's actually finished fermented. There won't be happening much with the airlock. I normally do a test, and it just shows you when it's finished. And like I say, this will be probably about at least 6% alcohol by volume when it's finished fermented. And because you add an extra 0.5% alcohol by the end result when you're bottling your beer, because of the extra sugar you're putting into your actual bottle to give the gas. That's the bit that gives the gas for the beer. If you want to know anything or would like some of this contents, you can always just shoot me a thing on YouTube, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Cheers.